We got to talk a little bit about the difference 2019 versus 2020 so far for this guy. It's actually been huge on the new team. A lot of people wondering what happened after he left Cloud9 because it has not come together with the new team. Individual plays as well as how he's playing with the lanes. I think all of these boxes can be checked so far, and they really need to see some big improvements in this area for them to start finding some success. Now, we also are going to look at the mid lane because that's a huge part of it for how explosive Jiizuke can be. He has also got to step up along with Svenskeren because these are the two people, when people saw this roster, they're thinking, this is going to be where the power comes from for them. But previously, in their last game, we saw with the Orianna, even though they had a set as well as a Rakan, two of the best possible delivery champions for Orianna balls to get great shockwaves, he was unable to work with the team or by himself to find any of those big shockwaves to really turn the tides for the team. So those two stars that we really expected to be a big part of EG's wins need to come together right now for them to start getting some more of them.
And maybe them and the rest of Evil Geniuses can bounce back today against FlyQuest, who come off a loss versus Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, we can't critique too hard since it was against the best team. Cloud9 had dominated everybody, right? And FlyQuest have been looking very confident up until then. I did like a lot of their cohesion that we saw around Rift Herald as well, coordinating some of these team fights. So I think that they will be able to bounce back because last time they got a loss, they also came back with a big win afterwards. And we'll have to jump into Champion Select, get this one started. No Soraka to tilt you off the face of the earth.
No Soraka to tilt you. No, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm completely out of Akali ban jokes now. When you go 3 weeks in a row and you just never see the champion even a single time, it's like playing against your inner Shroud. No, there was one. Okay. So we've got Rumble, Lucian, and Tahm Kench also banned out by these squads, and Set will be the final ban there. We've seen the boss causing a lot of trouble in the Rift here so far, but not today, as Viper will go ahead and pick up the Aphelios for WildTurtle.
All right. Turtle with Aphelios, and if you're looking at his partner, IgNar pretty much exclusively plays engaged champions. So this has a very high likelihood of being another Aphelios kill lane rather than an Aphelios defense lane. It's going to be into the Zyrakan lovers duo, though, with Bang and Zeyzal. So that is still dangerous. Aphelios has to be very careful keeping track of feathers when he's playing against this lane because he has no dashes to dodge away from the pullback. If Bang ever gets some nice placement, that can set up kills very easily and very quickly.
Speaking of setting up kills, why not grab something that can do that for you as well? Nautilus picked up here for FlyQuest, so it's AD carry and support. First two picks for both sides. We almost always see that at the beginning of the draft here in patch 10.2, season 2020, season 10, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what FlyQuest wants to go with here. Often jungler, yep, there we go. Lee Sin picked up for FlyQuest.
All right, they are drafting eerily similar to Cloud9, Captain Flowers. We just saw these champions. Excuse me, champions.
Champion lanes. Champion lanes.
Take a victory. We did see them in lane.
Champion lane. I'm going to start using that. I like that. That's a nice champion lane you got there as Jarvan is picked up for the side of EG. We know this guy can make some plays happen and get these guys trapped inside the Cataclysm. You already mentioned how Aphelios doesn't have a dash. That means if his flash is on that 5-minute cooldown, it's very easy for Jarvan to get him stuck.
Yeah, definitely a very good jungle pick into low mobility backline champions. Aphelios, plus most of what PowerOfEvil plays. So them showing Aphelios and knowing that you're going against PowerOfEvil, this is a very good combination. Rakan and Jarvan is some of the quickest hard engage that you can actually draft. So they definitely will have the possibilities of looking for those explosive teamfights and pushing up the tempo.
And the Riven tax is going to be paid now in the second half of the ban phase by Evil Geniuses. They had too many must-ban priorities in the first half. They risked letting it through. It wasn't picked up, and that means they'll take that chance now. The rest of the bans are going to be focused on mid lane with Orianna, Syndra, and LeBlanc being the tale told by both sides here. Evil Geniuses, what is that fourth pick going to be? Both solo lanes still need to be selected here. Oftentimes you will see the top laner go first, so mid can get a more favorable matchup, and there it is, Aatrox locked in for Kumo.
It's looking like a lot of AD for Evil Geniuses, so they definitely need some big AP threat for Jiizuke in the mid lane. And with two of them banned out, LeBlanc and Syndra, they're waiting to see what PowerOfEvil will play first before they can get Jiizuke a nice counter pick. It's gonna...
The Camille picked up into Aatrox here. It's gonna be pretty volatile top lane with these two being able to have solid gank assist as well as really snowball potential over the other one if they get going.
I actually really love Camille because during her time in the jungler when she had great attack speed, spammed a whole bunch of her, and it's my default top laner to play up there too. In my experience, I actually like the matchup into Aatrox because if you get any sort of lead in this lane, Camille is so good at affecting the rest of the map. All top laners complain about not being able to have an impact early on or later on, roaming around the rest of the map. Camille has some of the best pick of any top laner because of the range of her hookshot. So if you can get her to a Trinity Force, then you can definitely go kill people.
Well, the mid laners have kill people potential and plenty of it. It's Zoe locked in for PoE, and the final pick of the draft for EG is Malzahar for Jiizuke.
The big shutdown. Malzahar is the combo breaker of mid lane. Definitely does his job well. The point and click is there. So this is actually a very simple lineup for EG. They have a really strong hard engage. They have the Malzahar, which is very safe and easy to execute mid lane champion. You have your passive shield to block Zoe harassment, and you can easily lock her down. If you ult her, by the way, when she R's forward, you do get your ult, but she will snap back to the original location, but you still get to lock her down. You still suppress her and keep her in place long enough for the likes of a Rakan or a Jarvan to follow up on that. And if they're able to get the flank for Kumo, it definitely looks like a comp for Evil Geniuses to be able to execute on here and lock down those kills. Meanwhile, FlyQuest, I say this one has a much higher barrier of execution. They can definitely find a lot of kills themselves, but they're going to have to work at it. Zoe has to create some action. Camille has to create some action. Their only real easy champion to set the others up with is, of course, the Nautilus, and that would require IgNar roaming around.
Well, either way, both teams, once we get to the team fighting phase of the game, will have the tools to start things on their terms if they want to, and to me, that makes for an exciting round of League of Legends. So let's see what gets cooked up here in between FlyQuest and Evil Geniuses going head-to-head here. EG looking for that second win of the split. FlyQuest looking to move up to 4-2. With Dignitas falling down to 3-3 today in their game against Cloud9, this would put FlyQuest at a real nice spot in the standings. We'll see if they can make it happen. Lines of scrimmage being drawn. Doesn't look like too much is going to happen here at level 1. Nobody's super interested in trying to invade early on, get down any super deep wards just yet. Just got to look the other guy in the eyes. Let him know you mean business.
Everybody playing it very safe. We did have the early ward come out too from the trinket swap. This is super common, especially for junglers, because you do want your sweeper to go make sure that your first gank is not seen. But you also get to put down this ward and then go recall, swap over to the sweeper. We pretty much mentioned this 80% of the time that it happens, but it's become super common, and they will have a little bit of a defense here for Svenskeren to see if anybody's coming for a late invade, make sure that Jarvan will get red uncontested. I also like the mirror ward, though. That one's a bit more interesting from FlyQuest, and that is because Jarvan is renowned as a good red buff ganker. You only need level 2 on
red
the
into
champion.
a lane.
Yeah, EQ is all you need. You can EQ flash even with red buff. It's very, very scary, so that's why really early defensive wards on the side of FlyQuest, trying to make sure that they don't become the victims of a level 2 early pressure from Jarvan.
You can see Svenskeren decides to go into the bottom half of his own jungle. He knows he can't walk through there because that ward is down. PowerOfEvil also playing to the left side of the lane because he knows that Svenskeren would have to walk through there to gank him, so he's plenty comfortable. Santorin going to be going red to blue now as well, and because they both started on the same buff, They are on opposite ends of the map. I'll be interested to see if this leads to either of them being able to make a play to get that side of the map ahead. Right now, Kumo is the one without priority in the top side, so it will be pretty hard for Santorin to make a gank happen onto him underneath the turret. And bottom does look a little bit closer to the middle of the lane, but
yeah,
can Svenskeren pull it off?
Svenskeren is down there. It's done a top-to-bottom clear. This is the quickest double buff plus Gromp. You get your level 3 instantly, and FlyQuest doing a good job not taking the bait quite yet.
Zeyzal goes for the knock-up, flash away from WildTurtle, but the damage comes down onto IgNar. He flashes away, but loses most of his health in the process, and that's a double flash and a very nice trade going the way of Evil Genius.
As soon as the enemy jungler shows, Santorin knows that he can go in on the top side. Kumo is going to be hard to dive, though. They haven't harassed him down, so I think it will just be the Krug steal. A bit difficult to go after a top laner level 3 that still has flash, and especially an Aatrox that can actually create some extra problems with his own Umbral Dash as well as Q mini knockups.
The Infernal Chains as well, if you're not able to get out in time, those are going to yoink you right back into the turret. Make sure you seal your fate.
All right, so pretty much every ability.
Yeah, every button in the kit will make your life pretty hard to deal with. Svenskeren going for the turret dive here in the bottom side, but it has been botched. Evil Geniuses try to get themselves away. CC coming down onto Svenskeren. It's going to be a trade 1-for-1. First blood goes over to the Jiizuke, but Svenskeren falls.
Interesting. Couple of wasted teleports too. EG initially used theirs from Jiizuke to. Yeah, let's look at it one step by one step here. Okay. So, starting out, they have this Svenskeren. They know that Nahles has no flash, but Hex Flash from IgNar actually repositioned himself, so he's able to get some lockdowns under the turret. Then he kind of hugs over here. Jiizuke teleports in. He tanks one of the tower shots, but then Svenskeren's left all by himself, so it's a 1-for-1 with double buffs. The teleport from Viper was really perplexing, though, because they didn't need anyone else to secure that kill on Svenskeren. He was well alone under the tower, with Turtle healthy enough to stay there and finish it off. So he'll be a bit sad that he doesn't have that to get back to lane. And now there will be a top difference in teleports. Kumo uses the opportunity to push in and walk back to lane. So bottom side now, even though Turtle has double buffs, and you think, that's great, big mistake by EG, because of the invested teleport, it's still dangerous.
And here we go yet again. Hex Flash not going to be getting IgNar away from that one. CC comes down. One more hit will do it. And Svenskeren grabs himself a kill.
Yeah, still very dangerous. And they immediately punish it. Really good repeat there from Svenskeren to make good on the extra kill. And this one, he's able to actually cash in on as well. So going to go to further fund his jungle motives here. Dragon gets picked up as well in the aftermath, so EG, with the follow-up play, really make that dive worth it.
I love all the return visits Svenskeren is making. He recognizes, hey, we managed to get rid of both flashes 3 minutes into this game. Let's just go back over and over and over again and keep taking advantage of that.
And they're attacking a very big part of the identity of FlyQuest. I've been continually checking in on IgNar's dual proximity, and this is the percentage of time, pre-15 minutes, that he spends with his AD carry. I'll put a hold on the stats talk while we see another bot lane focus gank here from EG.
It never ends. Flash into the ultimate comes down from Jiizuke, and Turtle is an endangered species here in this bottom lane. That's his first death of the game, but IgNar can do nothing but try to escape and save his own hide. It is a 3-1 game for the Geniuses.
All right, bottom lane focus, Captain Flowers.
That's the name of the game, my friend.
An intense focus is really paying off for EG. They get another kill this time around. Jiizuke able to get there. He has Ghost as well with the spellbook, so he could, if he wanted to, Ghost back the lane. But most of the minions are dying to the turret now, so he's going to hold on to it for a bit longer. PoE takes the opportunity to get a small roam at the top side, but nothing really achieved for FlyQuest.
FlyQuest now have to find some way to get themselves back into this one. It's been EG making moves, making returns all the time back to the bottom lane. And Santorin on this Lee Sin, we want to see him get that Dragon's Rage up and running, get involved in one of these lanes.
And guess what, Flowers? What? They still have not used Kumo's teleport. So there could be another visitor to the bottom lane if they wanted to throw another one and perma-tilt Turtle down there. Just continually camping bottom side for EG. Kumo right now pushing up the lane, still has teleport advantage, and he's getting some AoE down on this wave as well.
That lane seemed to be going well for Viper early on. Kumo was underneath the turret, Viper had the priority, but that unnecessary teleport at level 4 that you mentioned really just seemed to make things easier here in the top side for Kumo's Aatrox. Looking back at bottom lane, Bang level 5, Zeyzal level 4 versus the reversed levels on the side of FlyQuest. It's IgNar who's got more EXP.
Santorin's waiting for a counter gank here, just camping around. They get the Gravitum root.
Zeyzal, good job there. Bang walks away, and Zeyzal uses the fact that he has extra range when dashing specifically to Xayah as Rakan to get to safety and make it so they weren't next to each other for the CC.
And remember, FlyQuest have to be very careful when trying to pull off a play around bottom lane right now because the possibility that Kumo comes in. If they overchase that, if they tried to go for the Rakan and force it, then they would get a teleport behind them with Kumo and they'd be committed to the play, which would be very dangerous. So even though they do set it up, I think it's good that they call that off very quickly and they don't pursue the Rakan any further. Roam number 2.
Worth pointing out, Svenskeren is halfway to level 6 and his ulti. Santorin is 95% of the way there. He needs to just be around 2 minions dying and he'll manage to get the kick. Whether or not that'll play into the next fight, we will see. As EG continues just keeping the pressure applied here in the bottom side. Level 6 available for Bang Xayah means that extra get out of jail free card, even if FlyQuest tries to make a play down here, and that'll only serve to deter that aggression even further. Whoop. Infernal Chains pulls him back. The trade's a little bit less effective than he would like because of the fact that the Camille Shield just came up, but still, good trade coming out from Kumo.
Yeah, stacks that one up. Conquer proccing at the end as well. Looks like Rift Herald is started by Svenskeren with a control ward. And since he did just get that good trade on top side, Viper's actually more worried about a possible dive, so that's why he went back around the tri-brush. And it is going to be a Rift Herald picked up very easily for EG. They recalled the bottom lane. They're the ones there first.
It's nice and secured, but IgNar throws out the ulti. Gonna follow it up now with the dredge line. Damage coming through. Svenskeren is destroyed, and FlyQuest may have found themselves a fight. Kumo's chasing Viper off to the side, but now he's alone behind enemy lines. Viper hanging around long enough to maybe provide some support CC if necessary. Santorin over the wall. Good ward hop over here. Kumo still trying to walk away, but there's a turret waiting on him, and there are 5 members of FlyQuest ready and raring to go, thirsty for blood, and they'll get it.
All right, they got the Rift Herald, but at what cost? EG are going to drop several kills, which bring FlyQuest right back into this game. They're really happy to get that. 2 of them going to Aphelios, which is right where they want their money. And look at this engage. Good bubble lands to start off. IgNar then is able to get the snipe onto Svenskeren, and taking someone out that quickly, they get to chase him off and separate the team fight. Viper's ultimate with Camille follows Kumo, and they force him into enemy territory.
That Jarvan was still level 5. His repeated investment into the bottom lane got his team ahead, but he's a bit behind the curve.
They did answer really quickly. I believe during the replay, the Rift Herald was used, because I don't see it on anyone's inventory, and there's only 1 turret plate left on that mid lane, so I'm pretty sure they just chunked out the mid lane and took Dragon in the aftermath here from EG. Good response from them.
Nice retaliation leads into a 2-0 Drake lead for the side of Evil Geniuses. Another Infernal Soul going to be taking its place on Summoner's Rift here. We'll see if Evil Geniuses can maintain control over those neutral objectives as the game marches forward. 11 minutes in, it's only an 800 gold advantage for them. Still 3 more minutes to work towards those plates. Santorin walks towards that brush. Svenskeren was waiting on him, but he's not going to go any closer just yet. PowerOfEvil hanging out behind him. Has an exhaust ready that he picked up from the minions.
Finally able to fish him out. Svenskaren's going to abort. Now, I was waiting for a long time for that because it's all well and good to set up surprise push attacks, but not if you're surrounded by the enemy team. Svenskeren,
but you're the one who gets surprised.
Exactly. He's all by himself there, so he has no backup. So your surprise factor doesn't really get you anything if you don't actually have the boys to back you up.
You gotta have the boys at the party. People need to accept their invitations.
This will be chapter 2 in Kobe's Book of War.
You're the next Sun Tzu.
Bush attacks are great, but only if you actually have the teammates around you.
Bubble flies through and just barely misses Svenskeren there. And we saw how much damage PowerOfEvil does. I mean, it was his burst that exploded Svenskeren in that Rift Herald fight after IgNar made the initial CC to set it up. So if he can manage to land these, there's a lot of firepower on the side of FlyQuest. He's farming up nicely here in the mid lane, has a Chilling Smite available. Just going to go ahead and drop that one down. Sorcerer Shoes plus the Lost Chapter working towards more burst potential as we continue forward. And Svenskeren will give this blue buff over to Jiizuke, who has gone for the Archangel's Staff. That Seraph's Embrace makes Malzahar even harder to kill. Viper just barely getting out of the range of the Infernal Chains before being thrown up into the air by the mini knockup, so he won't get pulled back there. Oh, and there's what you were talking about, Kobe. Even though she blinks back, the Zoe has no escape.
And no hesitation either. Svenskeren and Zeyzal jump right in. Svenskeren does get low, but goal achieved there for EG. They take down the Zoe, and they really want to tip over this turret. Santorin and IgNar doing their best to clear out the minions.
That minion wave pushing hard onto the tier 1 turret. Zeyzal wants this turret, but I don't think it's going to happen here just yet. Jiizuke's got plenty of push power, though. One of the nice parts about being Malzahar, aside from the point-and-click lockdown, such easy wave push here in the mid lane, and it looks like that first turret gold will go over the side of Evil Geniuses.
All right, they're really going to open up the map. They already have some decent deep wards as well for EG. They've remained proactive for the large majority of this game and really benefiting from it. Control wards now restocked for them as they head back out to the Rift, and there's 2 minutes, just a little bit under 2 minutes for the Infernal Dragon to pop up. They can easily set up their control wards and prepare.
Kumo's still just hanging out here on the top side. You can see him going for the Ninja Tabby nice and early, prevent some of that auto attack damage coming through from the Camille. Then the Kindle Gem, Longsword likely going to be turned into a Warhammer for the CDR Garage sale that so many Aatroxes like to path towards early on to just reduce reduce the cooldowns on the skills, make it so it's able to spam out those Qs so much more easily. Redemption gets used. That's a nice little Zoe bonus there, saying, all right, Viper, here's just a top off for you.
That's actually so nice. Let's have a little roam up. Redemption heal from PowerOfEvil, trying to help out his lane since he's got no mid turret left and he has to kind of give priority over to Jiizuke. This is how it changes the whole game when you get mid turret. The mid priority is so easy for EG now. They push in and get to roam. As you can see, PowerOfEvil had to receive that wave, so Jiizuke constantly gets in mid, then goes down to their control wards behind Dragon there. And they're just waiting for this Infernal to arrive.
And I love the fact that they're doing it this early. They're not waiting to get these wards down 30 seconds before it spawns. They've already been here a minute and 15 ahead of time. IgNar walking away now. EG not quite able to find the setup to grab a pick, but they're just chasing FlyQuest away. They're giving Bang the opportunity to make some sort of a move here. Moonlight Visual gonna find the lockdown onto 3. Vipers made a teleport into the fight behind the members of Evil Geniuses. Jiizuke goes drowsy. He has to flash out. Hextech Ultimatum comes in, but the counterattack is down, and Svenskeren's got the kill. Kumo's on the front line. Wings spread wide, but he's not able to chase after anyone. It is a 1-for-0 EG, and the power of the Malzahar punish shows its face yet again.
All right, let's see. They did use every single ultimate on the side of EG to get that kill, and Infernal Dragon's coming up. The only thing that FlyQuest still have over them is Santorin's got a Dragon Rage. Can he go for a steal? It's a 4v5.
Oh, let's see it. Infernal Drake below half. PowerOfEvil jumping in. Nice chunk damage on to Bang. Svenskeren still trying to maintain control over the pit. It's going to be stolen. Wonderfully done by Santorin's Lee Sin. IgNar pays the price, and PowerOfEvil is now stuck on the other side of the wall. He flashes away. He stays alive. You trade your support for a Drake, and you can make those trades when Santorin comes up clutch.
FlyQuest with some fancy moves to make that steal happen. On the top side of your screen, PowerOfEvil and IgNar forcing the engage, getting the poke damage down, and luring the rest of EG away from the Dragon. So that buys an opening for Santorin to get in on the last second of his Sonic Wave here for Lee Sin. So take a look at it. The Aphelios turret is DPSing the Dragon, getting it low, and continuing this fight. On the bottom side of your screen, Santorin barely gets in there, is able to smite it away, and then flashes to the wall and ward hops over as Zeyzal was coming over to lock him down and punish it for him. So they get the steal. It does come at the cost of the life of IgNar, but that is something that they will pay in order to get that Infernal Drake for themselves. Put a stop to the soul stacking here for EG, not letting them get to that soul point. And of course, getting yourself a small attack damage and ability power bonus to boot.
This graph on the screen is a tale of two mid laners for these teams right now. The fights are being decided by the power coming from PowerOfEvil and Jiizuke. Jiizuke having used the Summoner Spellbook now to swap out his flash that is on cooldown for the barrier in case they decide to make another move onto him. Has Liandry's Torment completed now as well for the extra burn combined. It's the old World of Warcraft video, dots on dots on dots. He's got some dots, he's gonna put more dots, except he never actually stops them. He'll just continue stacking as the game continues. Let's see what PowerOfEvil can do down here. I think he's just gonna back himself away. When Svenskeren's showing up, you've got to respect what happens. Trouble Bubble lands behind him. It blocks off his escape, but he doesn't need to worry about that when Zeyzal's coming in to back these guys up.
Yep, everybody roaming down there for EG2. They still want to keep up this ward line inside the red jungle so they can have this pressure throughout mid and bottom lane. Svenskeren just hovering behind Jiizuke to allow them to shove up once again. Malzahar spam every key, and the wave is dead.
And there was a nice little pop-up that came up during the Drake fight that might have gone unnoticed by some people because it was just very small in the top part of the screen there for a moment. At EG's average at 15, this split has been negative 300 gold, something around that ballpark. This game they were at plus 1,800, and it's only grown since then. They're 3,500 gold ahead, 19 minutes in. The Rift Herald's about to get another charge onto an inhibitor turret. This has been a much better than expected early game from Evil Geniuses.
Yep, they look so much more well-coordinated this game, I'd say. They're a lot more focused on their objectives, and yes, FlyQuest have had really good rebuttals as well. But EG have earned themselves this lead. They've been able to carve out, mostly on the bottom side of the map. When we talk about the story of this game, Flowers, people will remember it as a bottom lane focus for sure from EG, because if you look at how we got to this point, it was so much with Svenskeren and Jiizuke both going to the bottom lane, which has resulted in full control there. Now Viper...
Oh, this is going to turn into a full-blown 2v2. Svenskeren's going to trap him in the Cataclysm. Kumo's waiting for the Q to come back up and be ready to go. And there it is, the reinforcements. Jiizuke's TP brings in that Malzahar ulti, and that gets him a kill. IgNar also finds himself caught out of position by the bottom lane duo of EG, and he falls as well. 2 for 0 for Evil Geniuses.
More coordination here from EG, just grouping up around Kumo, trying to defend him for the fight. And guess what the rewards will be? Already control wards in place. Rift Scuttler has been taken, so should be a very easy Baron.
Is this the earliest Baron of the split so far? Because with the removal of the old Mountain Drake from Season 9 that gave you bonus damage to objectives, Barons feel later on average in Season 10, but this one was taken on spawn by EG because of the fortunate circumstance.
Yeah, a really fortunate timing there as they get the kills on top side. Oh, we're already here by the Baron. Guess we should just
might as well.
Got the double kills, no jungler around for FlyQuest, and the ward's already in place, so everything pretty much set up. Take another look at how it all started out. They wanted to get this kill onto Kumo. Santorin joined Viper, but they're unable to finish him because that Cataclysm he talked about for Svenskeren just puts a stop to the team fight. Svenskeren basically puts a hold on the 2v2, pauses until Jiizuke can get there, and then upon arrival, Malzahar is one of the best mid laners to have teleport. You get instant gratification. Teleport in, instantly just push R, and it's basically a 2-button change there to allow you to get Baron. Now wearing purple, it sets them up for a very easy Infernal Dragon because with Baron, you can shove out the wave so quickly, and then they should be able to take it.
And one thing I always look for when a team gets Baron, provided they're the team ahead and it wasn't some miracle steal when they were in a losing position the entire time, is for all the tier 2 turrets on the enemy team to be down by the time that first Baron runs out. There are still 2 left standing for the side of FlyQuest that I want to see EG use this buff to take.
We did get confirmation that was indeed the fastest Baron, Captain Flowers.
I knew it!
So
I knew it all along!
EG hold the time to beat in the Baron race.
20 minutes, 17 seconds is indeed a super speedy one, as they will be pressuring onto those tier 2 turrets I was talking about. Mid lane tier 2 still standing, has about 1/3 of its HP remaining. Bang and Zeyzal will be applying the pressure, enchanting the minion with the Baron buff. Jiizuke is pushing in the top side. Kumo finds himself in a 1v2 bottom lane, and this is the signal for the rest of EG to make moves elsewhere. Kumo will fall. Bang and Zeyzal don't have any more minions to push with in mid. Top, though, has a plenty big enough wave for Jiizuke and Svenskeren to take down that tier 2.
Let's see if they get some more recalls here, because Viper's actually staying bottom, so they're going to defend the second tower push here from EG and keep Viper pushing so that FlyQuest can try and get some gold back for themselves, because EG still get 2 turrets out of that Baron, even though FlyQuest are able to pick off Kumo. And I don't think he can actually finish it. They've just finished up too quickly on that mid lane and threatening to rotate over. So FlyQuest still yet to take a turret, but they do get some gold back for themselves, picking off Kumo.
And while they didn't get the turret, if you're looking on the bright side of life, they also didn't have their base cracked open yet. They survived the Baron, they didn't lose any inhibitor turrets, especially considering they had one damaged by Shelly earlier on. That's a concern that you can have, but the base stands strong, so it's not complete panic just yet, but a 7,500 gold deficit 23 minutes in is still a cause for quite a lot of concern.
And especially that, considering the state of the map right now with the team comp that they drafted. We talked about in Champ Select where FlyQuest have a more difficult team comp to pull off. They need to spread the map, they have Camille split push, and they have Zoe looking for picks. But since they haven't taken any outer towers, it's really difficult for them to gain control of Summoner's Rift. EG have a very easy comp to accomplish here. They have guaranteed engage, basically.
Press
with
R.
Rakan, Jarvan, and Malzahar. Exactly. Very easy. Just group up, force it on FlyQuest. And it's up to FlyQuest to make some sort of creative response here with their champions to blow somebody up. You can see they're trying to continue with the split push right now. Topside Viper on Camille. It's basically your only option. Try and get that tower and hope that the rest of your team can clear enough minions to hold EG off.
That bottom side inhibitor turret so close to falling over, and EG would love to just put it in the dirt. Viper still top, has a TP available to come in if EG ends up in a really bad spot. Pushing strong with 4 members. Kumo trying to rotate over from the mid lane now. He has TP too, but doesn't really want to use it from that distance. PowerOfEvil looking for some damage onto Zeyzal. Won't quite find him.
And for FlyQuest, my focus was all on the minions. They do a really good job wave clearing there. I think that was the last few shots of Turtle's flamethrower, and they were able to clear out and save the bottom turret, while Viper did get some gold with the top tower.
Ooh, nice follow-up there from Kumo, going after Viper. Infernal Chains immediately followed up with a combo, coming out from the Qs. Q2 and Q3 hit. Viper goes over the wall. The Camille, so agile, so mobile, but is it enough? Kumo's still in hot pursuit. He has been slowed down, and Viper's out of there.
Rest of the team, though, IgNar was coming over to try and defend him. He ends up burning his flash as he gets picked off by Svenskeren and Bang.
I'm going to call that one an unforced error. Whenever you go to help a teammate who is able to get themselves away, you end up having to expend one of your own resources. Just not what the doctor ordered.
And we call that unforced error having too big of a heart.
Yeah.
No teammate left behind.
There is such thing as being too good of a teammate. Sometimes you just got to be selfish and say, you made your bed, the bus is going to take you, throw them under, and move on with your life. Hope you survive.
You can't save everyone who's drowning, Flowers. If you try and save 2 people, then you're probably going down too. Unless you're an insane swimmer.
Well,
I don't know if it'd be possible to actually save 2.
When you go out there and blow your own flash and accomplish nothing else, then you're out there with some floaties on and you got to go back and take some more classes. And IgNar is not where he needs to be with that, but he still could make the engage happen. Speaking of engaging, it's going to be Zeyzal starting this one off. Bang keeping himself alive with the Xayah ulti into the back line. PowerOfEvil going to be taken out by Bang. Kumo coming around from behind with the TP now. FlyQuest, they're able to find a shutdown onto 2, but there's 2 in return for EG. This one is an absolute bloodbath as Zeyzal dashes away and Viper's into the back line. Kumo coming around from the side here yet again, and Viper is taken down. Jiizuke will continue the chase, and Kumo is swinging that sword all over the rift.
EG, oh my goodness. Zeyzal just got such a dream engage with Rakan. FlyQuest had a chance though, because the DPS wasn't there for EG at the beginning to follow up on that engage. It looks so nice to get 4 members locked up in crowd control, but it took a while for the rest of EG to actually collapse on it, and FlyQuest didn't come out as bad as you would think, being the recipients of a 4-person charm and knockup combination. In the end, EGs do get the roam from Kumo, and they clean up the extra kill, chasing them off. So it will be Infernal Soul, and it doesn't really give a lot of hope for FlyQuest, but they still have an opportunity with Baron. They're actually streaming back out there. This is where you tell your team, okay, we get one more chance. We can try and win this team fight. If you win the Baron team fight, then there is still hope.
You also have the possibility of fight them at Elder Drake, somehow win, get the laser, all over them, win the game. Yeah.
Problem is, again, looking at the team comps, EG have a way easier 5-on-5. They want to group up at these neutrals. And it's up to FlyQuest to try and find a Zoe Bubble, somebody out of position to kill someone first so that the numbers are actually in their favor.
PowerOfEvil and WildTurtle have been in communication with the IRS. They're paying their taxes, QSSs, up on both the carries from the side of FlyQuest so they don't get Jiizuke'd.
Yeah, we did actually see WildTurtle die anyway to the damage that was still coming through, even though you can QSS and
stop
walk.
the CC.
Yeah, you can, exactly. You can walk off of it, but he's still burned down in the last fight to Jiizuke.
Zeyzal and Bang still feeling comfortable pushing up here in the mid lane. Bang doesn't have summoners available, but he still has the Xayah ulti in case they try to initiate onto him. Very easy to dodge away from a Nautilus ulti with a Xayah ulti. It's so telegraphed, it's so slow. You can have some pretty low reaction times or be CC'd for a little while beforehand and still get out of it. FlyQuest on the eternal defensive now, trying to protect themselves against this EG that now possesses that Infernal Soul. And remember, the Infernal Soul triggers on each individual player, so if all 5 people hit you at once, it's actually a massive amount of extra burst.
Focus the lasers. Get those
don't come until the Elder Dragon. These are the little
All right, fine. Fireworks.
Okay, yeah, fireworks. I like fireworks. Lasers are later. We don't go full techno show until we have the Elder Dragon.
There's no actual laser.
Yes, there is. It shoots a laser. All right. Well, Santorin doesn't even need a laser to get taken down, man. And he is just annihilated. That is a pick up there for the side of Evil Geniuses. They've got Baron for the second time this game, and they're mounting up to get ready to make that game-winning push.
I still contest that it is
How do you
Dragon's
contest
breath
it's a laser?
that comes out, not laser.
Look at it. It looks like a laser. A breath is...
I agree to disagree.
A breath is fumous. It looks like it's a gas. You breathe it out, and it dissipates all over the place. Yeah. I don't know the science word, man. I didn't major in science. But it comes out like a gas, like some kind of air. The laser is a beam.
Yeah.
It's a laser.
Gaseous. Maybe
Is that the word?
Maybe it's what you're looking for.
Yeah, probably. It might. All right, Mr. Science Man. Well, we're going to see if EG can manage to bash down the walls of this base here from FlyQuest, push onto those inhibitor turrets, and get the inhibs themselves. They've got 2 minutes to work with on this Baron power play. It's still sitting at about the value of the objective itself, so not much has been done yet. But plenty of time to still work with here. Jiizuke pushing up the bottom side. Kumo hovering around this lane. As mid, it's Svenskeren who eats a Trouble Bubble, but, well, eats a Paddle Star, but not the following Trouble Bubble, I should say. Bottom lane inhibitor turret nearly down. Jiizuke just standing by, enchanting that cannon minion, allowing it to do the chip damage that takes the turret out. Mid lane turret also going to go down now. Svenskeren in some trouble, going to be locked down, rooted up. Stoneplate is out. Drowsy coming down now on the other members of EG. FlyQuest in full retreat. Santorin's going to explode, and Turtle, the feathers fly, and he is gone. PowerOfEvil will join him. Everybody but Viper's coming along too, and Evil Geniuses in one swift strike will take down FlyQuest. It's all over, but the theatrics of actually knocking over the turrets and getting on to the Nexus, and that is Evil Genius' second win of the split.
And on top of that, a bunch of Infernal Dragons, so extra books.
Extra books, exactly. They met their criteria. They got... Wait, what was it? Every Baron is $1,000 donated to a Junior Genius? That's 2 Barons. That's $2,000. That's 2 Junior Geniuses.
That's a good price for Make a Genius.
Yeah, that's a... I mean, at least they'll know how to say whatever gaseous is. Or paving the way to the future. Evil style.
Oh.